Today is Saturday, September 19th. We're here to check out Long Pond, and their road is closed again. It was closed for like 3 years because of a washout. I was up here about a month ago. Don't know why it's closed again. Self-service pay station. It says no fees required this year because of COVID-19. When I was last up here, it was packed because anybody could use it for free. Usually you need to pay for parking, or you need a parking sticker in the windshield for the area trails. I wonder what they're doing here today. Wondering why it's closed. It's a little bit late in the year. It's possible that they have already drained the pond back. I know they usually will do some draining before winter. Yeah, it is real dry. It's empty. I've never seen this place empty before. Yep, nothing behind the dam. That's cool. Means we can walk on both sides of it. All right, so we are here. This is where I had the park, where the gate is shut. I'm about almost a mile walk. It's a pretty big place. Awesome place for kayaking in the summertime. I've been here a lot kayaking in the past. There's so many places you can get out. Like islands. Just get out of the kayak everywhere. They might actually be replacing the dam, because it's odd that they would close this early. Yep, that little dock there usually has 2 feet of water under it. Amazing. There's 2 more docks right there fishermen are usually at. There's basically empty. And that's not because of the drought. The dam must be open. Feel bad for the beavers. They are screwed for the winter. They're tough animals. They'll most likely survive with the lodge out of the water. I've seen them walking around in the snow, but usually you want the lodge entrance underwater so they can swim, because they can't break through the ice. Now, what is this? Is this just big bags of sand for stopping water? You see, they built a road. They've been driving excavators down. I could see somebody's deep, muddy footprints. Sandbags everywhere. What are they up to? They dug this area out. Here's a grate, just about rusted through. They've been running excavators down here. They have the discharge open completely. Check that out. Nothing going over the dam. I remember you used to be able to kayak right up to the dam, because it wouldn't be spilling over the wood. It would be like trickling under it where they'd keep it. So there wasn't ever a chance of you going right over. Look at that big silt filter going across. Real interesting. All right, right here I see, you can just lift this thing up, get a look inside. Look at that. They have those pieces of wood there because if they removed it and drained this down completely, that's a lot of sediment that it's going to start eroding. And they don't want that downstream. It's just way too much. So that's why they kept a few of them here. Normally they'd have wood stacked up to the top. Yeah, and this right here you can see is shiny. They just put a wrench on that to open it up. And if you look in the water, you can still see plants and stuff floating over here. So this is recent. Look, it looks like there's a clog of stuff there. That's not good. Water's not supposed to be going in the side there. You know, this dam doesn't look bad compared to some of other ones I've seen. Not much cracking. Down below, I can see some of the dam falling apart right there. Looks like water regularly comes out of that crack. That must be what they're trying to fix. At the beginning of the video, when I said a couple years ago the road was washed out, that is because there was a storm and the culvert pipe under the dirt road couldn't handle it. And it took them 3 years to fix it because it wasn't a priority. Oh. There's not a single person up here, no workers. There's one other car down there and we passed them on the way up. So she can run around free. There's nobody else up here. Let's go check out the silt filter. That's cool. They have rocks weighing it down on the bottom. And you see it's collected some silt. Lets the clean water go right over the top. They must have drained this recently because you've noticed the water is still murky. It hasn't cleared up yet because it's still eroding silt from the bottom. Yeah, there's times this goes all underwater during flood. Let's go get some more looks around. Big generator. Bunch of pipes. Big old valve. Seagull poop, maybe crow. Yep, they brought that big excavator right down there. See the pieces of wood they have lined up in there? There's only a couple of them now. On a normal year, it would be up to the top, and they'd have it spilling over the regular dam. I can see some cracks right there. The top of that looks new. You can see the water line where it usually is. They brought one of the biggest machines they have out here to fix this. Hopefully it'll be back open for kayaking. I guess you could still go kayaking. And it might even be fun to go kayaking now, but you'd have to carry your kayak all the way up the mile-long road. Be easy if you have one of the wagons, just wheels that go on the back while you lift the front. Because if you put a kayak in here now, it's not moving very fast. You could probably still get to the end of it just going up the river. There's all these inlets. There's a bunch of islands over there. Let's go check it out under here. Those are metal posts. Oh, the mud is getting deep. Real messy here. I see a bunch of fish in the water. Yeah, they're definitely replacing that. Look how rusty it is in there. That's not a big deal. It's not rusted through. But I see why they want to replace it before it fails. Until now, I never realized how shallow this pond really is. Where I'm standing now would only be up to my knees. You could walk just about all the way out there if you didn't get stuck in the mud without even going over your head. Got the other dock here. Those are still very stable. Every time I've been here kayaking, there's always been fishermen on there. There was always tons of little water lizards here. Always frogs everywhere, crayfish everywhere. Always a real fun place. Notice how the mud is all still very wet. They just drained this. I wish they would announce when they drain these ponds. They do have a website saying when they drain all the reservoirs back for the winter. These smaller ponds are not included in that list. There's a ton of fishing line here. I doubt they're gonna dig this out. A lot of man-made ponds they dig out when they do work, because a man-made pond slowly fills in with silt from upstream. But this here is actually great habitat for the moose, because this really shallow water, tons of water plants grow here, and the moose can walk out there like up to their knees eating all the plants. Right here's the boat ramp. Yep, that big crack there as it slowly slides out into the mud. We're actually going to go for a little hike around the edge of this as far as we can. It's just about impossible to get out to that rock pile. Almost got stuck in the mud going out there. Right here is pretty stable. It's sand. Check this out. Big prints from a moose. A moose was here, I'd say, in the past day. They must love this being drained, because that's what they do. They roll in the mud. They lick the mud for minerals. Oh yes, look at this. We can get all the way over here now. Super easy walking along the rocks. She keeps trying to jump up on me because she wants to be carried. She's covered in mud. Check that out. That guy has got to get into hibernation. You see how slow it is? It's freezing. Leave the frog alone. I don't even think she saw it. I don't want her to see it, because she'll probably kill it. It's slow because it's cold out. It's going to be hibernating soon. It's only about 50 degrees today. Right there, looks like somebody's fishing area. Or maybe they were camping there. You see all the branches are all cut. They're probably burning. On a normal year, you see here there'd be like a foot or two of water. You'd be able to kayak in here to this entire area, around this island, around a second island. And it's called Long Pond because it just goes. And look, the river, you can kayak up that. It's barely even moving. You saw the entire river was fitting through that 18-inch discharge. This rock right here shows you about how deep it would normally be. Just the tip would be sticking out. You can see all the water lines. So you can kayak around there. Yeah, when you're kayaking, you always bump into these tree stumps you can't see under the water. And there's usually water plants here. It looks like they've died off for the year. The lily pads all come up. But this is a normal occurrence. They always drain the pond. All the plants will still come back up. Looks like maybe we have raccoon here. We're the furthest we can make it, at least on this side. Maybe over there we could make it further. Right here you can see a whole bunch of tracks. Deer. You can see by the eroded evidence right there. There's some water coming out of the woods there. A little stream that's feeding it. Trickling, making that a little erosion. I can see it trickling. We can't get across this. The mud right there, would probably be up to my waist. In order to get over here, we'd have to walk into the woods around and back out. Check this out. Here's a little rock wall. Might have been built by people, might have been built by beavers. That's something I recently discovered. Beavers build rock walls. Made it out pretty far to the little tiny trickle. If I take one more step, I'd be way up to like my knees. I made it out here by hopping on all these rocks. These rocks look tiny, but they're massive underneath. She's light. She's not going to get stuck. And if she did, I'll just yank her out with the leash. So this is how I got out here. All these rocks are stable for jumping around. Oh, look at her go. Around this side of the island, got a beaver lodge. And they most likely abandon it because a beaver's not fast crawling through mud. You see, that's the exit. You see that trench? That would be where they'd swim in and out. Look at this. Somebody, looks like they just pushed the sign out of the way and just drove up here anyways. Oh, we're on the other side now. Check out right there, the water line. Another beaver lodge on the back of that island. And what do we have here? Maybe a bunch of squirrel tracks, something tiny. Look at that tree. It like fell over and straightened itself out over the years. We're now up onto this peninsula. We made it around all the mud. That's a beautiful shot. Look at the water line. All right, we just cut through the woods. Bunch of moose and deer tracks that made that trail. It's a little grown in. I think the ticks are just about away. Wow, it's really dried up on this side. Got a nice little island here. Yeah, it's definitely possible to walk all the way to the end if you had the entire day, because the edge is all rocky. But it takes so much time because you have all these in and out you got to go around because of the mud. She needs to go on the leash now because there's a ton of these dead crayfish. You see, they're pretty much shells, but she's eating them. All right, at this point, my feet aren't wet. My shoes are just filthy. Can I make it back across like I did before without getting wet? Whew, foot went in the water, but it was fast. Didn't get anything in the shoe. Oh, almost made that one. I crossed that like 3 times today. I made that one every single time but now. Means I'm getting tired. It's time to go. Hope this video was interesting. Thanks for watching.